Floodwaters in the southern Indian state of Kerala show no signs of receding. 39 people have already died in this catastrophe and an estimated 36,000 have been displaced. Close to 300 relief camps have been set up across the state to shelter thousands of evacuees. But the rain isn't expected to stop anytime soon. In fact, the Met Department has predicted heavy to very heavy rainfall for the next couple of days. Meanwhile, the Indian Army has swung into action. Army personnel have built small bridges across streams to evacuate people to safer areas in the worst-hit districts of Wayanad and Kozhikode. 5 army columns have already been deployed. They're being assisted by members of the National Disaster Response Force or NDRF to carry out relief and rescue operations. Meanwhile, several roads have caved in and bridges have collapsed as a result of the non-stop rain. In fact, these are being called the worst floods that Kerala has seen in the last 90 years. The state's Chief Minister, Pinarayi Vijayan, conducted an aerial survey of the worst-hit areas on Sunday, and then today the Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh has also taken stock of the situation. The state government has announced compensation packages for those affected by the floods. However, a larger dole-out might be expected given the extent of damage in the area. And bad weather has hit India's north too. At least 7 people have lost their lives in rain-related incidents in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Now, highways across the state have been shut due to heavy rainfall, which has triggered landslides, leaving several commuters stranded. According to reports, rain-related incidents have claimed the lives of 3 people in the city of Mandi and 4 in Solan. Officials have said that the cities of Shimla, Mandi and Kullu are the worst hit. Now, the state government isn't taking any chances, though, with the Met Department saying more heavy rainfall is expected till Tuesday. As a result, schools and colleges are going to be shut for another day. Over in Japan, a freak storm lashed parts of the capital Tokyo on Monday, leaving several parts of the city flooded. The Japanese media reported multiple power outages, with some 8,000 households losing electricity. Now, the brief torrential rainfall took place over a period of just a few hours before the usual summer weather returned to the city. But during that time, there was enough damage that took place. According to the Met Department, the downpours and thunderstorms are due to unstable atmospheric conditions created by a warm air mass, which is covering eastern Japan and surrounding areas. Staying with Asia, more than 20,000 people have been forced from their homes and at least 2 have been killed in the Philippines, where incessant rains have led to flooding in several parts of the country. In the capital, Manila, residents living in low-lying areas near the Marikina River were evacuated to higher ground as water levels rose above the danger mark. Weather authorities issued a 3rd-level flood alert and warned residents of continuous heavy rainfall. In fact, that rainfall is expected to continue to dump water in Luzon and some parts of the central Philippines over the week as well. But some people decided to carry on with their plans despite the rain, including a couple who decided to go through with their wedding despite floodwaters making their way into the church. The bride and her parents waded down the flooded aisle through swirling waters to a barefoot groom who was waiting patiently at the altar. Meanwhile, China is preparing for possible disasters, with Typhoon Yagi making landfall on its eastern coast on Sunday. Disaster management workers have already evacuated more than 200,000 people and 20,000 fishing boats as strong winds lashed coastal areas. Weather authorities say that the storm will bring heavy rain and gradually weaken as it moves inland to the northwest, but they're preparing for the worst. Remember, summer is typhoon season in China, and Yagi is the 14th typhoon to hit the country this year alone. Staying with South Asia, India's Urban Affairs Ministry has published a first-of-its-kind list of the country's most livable cities. Surprisingly, not a single major metropolitan has made it to the top 10. Unless, of course, you're taking the suburbs of India's financial capital into consideration. Now, both Navi Mumbai and Greater Mumbai have figured on second and third spot respectively. But it is the Maharashtrian city of Pune that tops the list. Meanwhile, Madhya Pradesh's Bhopal closes out the top 10, while the Union Territory of Chandigarh, considered one of the country's most planned cities, figures in the middle at number 5. However, not a single city in the states of Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu have made the first 10. Now, let's take a look at the parameters that were considered in developing this index. They basically covered 4 broad areas, that is institutional, social, economic and physical. Those were then further broken down into categories and indicators that help form the final index. Elsewhere in Asia, Malaysia's Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad has said that he will seek to cancel multi-billion-dollar Chinese-backed infrastructure projects that were signed by his predecessor while his government tries to dig itself out of debt. The comment has been made just days before the 93-year-old leader heads to Beijing for his first visit there since returning to power in an electoral upset just 3 months ago. Listen in.
We don't think we need those 2 projects. We don't think they are viable. So if we can, we would like to just drop the projects. But if that cannot be done, we'll have to postpone it to the future where perhaps the need will arise.